Hey friends, welcome back to the Fountain Pen and Ink Station. My name is Bailey. I hope everybody is doing well wherever you're at, day or night. Luckily, I think spring has arrived, knock on wood. I just want to bring to you the 30 Inks 30 Days start. I have here my dice, my D20 dice. I went over in a video. I'll link it below if you haven't seen that yet. Check it out. So let's get started with 30 Inks 30 Days. If you're not familiar with D20 dice, it's a 20-sided dice, typically used for RPG games, but I typically use it for anything other than RPG. Okay, friends, I had to locate the book that I used to write it down. So, all right, we're going to get started for day one. So this would be for Wednesday, April 1st. Happy April, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to do a series like where I'm going to combine days at a time into one. So let's just get started, okay? So the first roll, I have my dice tower here. I 3D printed it. See, it's kind of hard to see at an angle. Okay, so the first dice is 11. So we're going to mark down and then 15. So friends, what we're going to do is we're going to pick a blue ink. So roll 11, and then we're going to pick, go find a poem to transcribe. So I'll be right back. Okay, friends, we're back. So for the blue ink, I'm going to go with this one I have not inked up yet in a pen. So remember, my rules for myself are just maybe inks that I haven't inked up yet in a pen and samples first. So I'm going to do Diamine Ruby Blues. I got this from a friend. And let's just give it a whirl. I'm going to ink it up in my Jinhao 82. Okay, friends, I don't do a full fill when I'm doing 30 inks in 30 days. Just in case I don't love the ink or if the ink doesn't perform well in a certain pen. I already got ink on my hands. Look at that, friends. All right, so let's test this out. Move this out of the way. And I like to post my 30 Jinhao 82s just for my handwriting. All right, let's make sure this is actually writing in Diamine Ruby Blues. And I sometimes have issues with this pen and nib. Dip it. Not the best sign if it comes out and it's not working right away. I said Ruby Blues. I'm not sure if this is an Inkvent ink or not. So this is in my Jinhao 82. I want to say it's a medium nib. It's a very wet nib once it gets going. So friends, typically if you have trouble with your pens and it's not wanting to come out right away, you can prime it by pushing the ink up through the converter or just dipping it to get it primed. So the next part of this challenge was transcribing a poem. I won't do this every time, friends, but for this purpose, I've always been into poetry. I wrote poetry since I was a little girl. Here's all the poetry books that I'm going to be looking through to find inspiration from. So the one I picked today is by Robert Drake and R.H. Sin. So Robert Drake wrote this one. It's called Who You Are. So I'm going to speed this up as I transcribe it, and I hope you enjoy. Sorry I didn't get the bottom part of that. I should have zoomed out a little bit. So for day one of 30 Inks 30 Days, we have Diamine Ruby Blues, and we have that in our Jinhao 82 with a medium nib. And this is just a clear demonstrator 82. And then I transcribed the poem Who You Are by Robert M. Drake. After all, the world is made up of different kinds of people. So sooner or later, you're going to run into someone just like you, and you're going to analyze them and say, damn, I am complicated, but I am also beautiful. And that will be enough to inspire you and give you the perfect amount of courage to continue being who you are. With that, friends, know that you matter. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. We'll see you back for day 2 of 30 Inks, 30 Days. Hey friends, welcome back to the Fountain Pen Ink Station. This is Bailey. I'm coming at you with day 2 of 30 Inks, 30 Days. So this would be April 2nd, Thursday. Sun is still shining. I think though we have some freezing rain in our forecast, so not looking forward to that. I brought along Free Ren during our 30 Inks, 30 Days, since she was kind of my inspiration behind the grimoire I showed you. So we're going to get started. I have my 2d20 dice. I have my dice roller up here. It's kind of finicky, hard to move because it's so big. So we're going to roll our first dice. Friends, we got 12. Didn't we just roll an 11? I swore we just rolled an 11. So we have 12 and then 16. Friends, we might be doing the same thing. 16. So friends, I have to pick another blue ink. I swear the universe is not on my side today. So pick another blue. And then I have to transcribe another poem. I'm telling you, the universe is not on my side. So let me find a sample first and then a pen and I will come back. Okay, friends, we're back. So I don't know if this video will come after the ink mixing video, but in that one I had talked about red inks and how I don't have a lot of true red inks. That same goes for a true blue ink. I have a lot of turquoise and teal inks. Not a whole lot of actual blue. So I found this one, Rower and Klinger Frida. It is a waterproof ink. It's a sketch ink. And I'm going to put that in another Jinhao 82. This one has, looks like sparkles, like confetti sprinkles. So I'm going to ink that up real quick. It's just going to get even more blue. Look at that. I can't escape it. Okay. It's a very messy demonstrator, but here we go. This must be my extra fine nib. It is. Okay, friends, that's what that looks like, the Rower and Klinger Frida sketch ink with an extra fine nib. And then we're going to transcribe a poem. The poem I have for you today is from Nikita Gill. The poem is called A Reminder from the Stars. A Reminder from the Stars by Nikita Gill. Constellations of stars exploded to bring you to life. The molecules in your left collarbone come from a different galaxy than your right. And by defiantly existing against all odds, you are honoring their sacrifice. Nikita Gill. See you tomorrow, friends. We are on day 3 of 30 Inks, 30 Days, and I swear the universe, please don't give me another blue ink. So let me move my stuff off to the side. Let's get rolling. I'm gonna give this a good shake this time, and before we set it in. So, okay, please do not give me a blue ink. No blue ink, no blue ink. 6. I don't think that's blue. All right, so we got 6. Is it 6? Or is it not? That's 6. Okay, and then let's roll the second one. another poem? Is the universe telling me that I need to reflect this week? All right, so we have 6 and 16. So I need to pick an orange or red ink and then transcribe another poem. So friends, I'll be back. I'll see what I have and I'll be back shortly. Okay, friends. I have this Ferris wheel press lantern crossing. I think this is technically an orange ink. I have not put this in a pen. This was a recent sample I received. There is a little bit of shimmer. I don't use this often enough. It's my TWSBI Mini in orange. Is that the colorway? So let me ink this up without making a mess. So I'm going to start writing my 30 inks in 30 days in black, because I feel like every time I want to get a color, like today I would really like to get a pink, then I don't get it. Alright, so this first one, we're going to do, oh, okay, yep, that's orange, is Ferris wheel press. It's actually a really pretty ink. I think it's called Lantern Crossing. And our TWSBI. I hope you're in frame, friends. Yeah. It's really light, so let me zoom you in. TWSBI. This is one of the older ones. Is this considered a Diamond 580? We'll just do TWSBI Mini. I want to say it is the Diamond 580 Mini, but it's one of their older pens. I don't think you can buy this anymore. That's with a fine nib. And the poem I have picked out today is by Rupi Kaur, K-A-U-R, and it's called Home. You zoom me out, Home Body. It's just part of the Home Body section. So you can see here, there's no title on it. Okay, friends, so for the day 3 of 30 Inks 30 Days, we have Ferris wheel press Lantern Crossing in the TWSBI Mini Orange and a fine nib. And the poem today is by Rupi Kaur, K-A-U-R, from his Homebody section in his book. For the love of my life, I am trying my best to have hope. I'll keep greeting each morning with an I will when it feels like I can't. I will. I will. I will. Meet a day that will melt me. I will move and sadness will fall off my shoulders to make room for joy. I will be full of color again. I will touch the sky again. By Rupi Kaur, Homebody. So friends, I want to show you one more thing before I leave. I forgot that I'm keeping track of, in my Hobonichi that's not very good, I found this is a good use for it, is keeping track of my currently inked. So I just mark in here, and I'll do this for each day. This Ferris wheel. Friends, this is actually a really nice nib. I don't know why I don't use this more often. I have another Diamond Mini 580 that I use in the purple, or scrape actually, sorry friends. And I love using that. I should use this more. Yeah, that's really nice. I can see myself using that. All right, we have a couple more days. I'll see you on tomorrow on the next day. Bye, friends. Hey friends, welcome back for day 4 of 30 Inks, 30 Days. Yesterday we had a TWSBI Mini and we paired it up with a red-orange ink, which is the Ferris Wheel Press Lantern Crossing. This was day yesterday. I'm gonna probably mesh these together so you can see that. And then we had Roaring Klinger Frida for day 2, and then day 1 we had Diamine Ruby Blues. So far we have 2 inks, or 2 blue inks and 1 orange ink. We'll see what we get today, friends. So let's get to rolling. I'm going to really shake these really good to see if we can not get a blue ink. What is that? Yellow and gold. Ooh, that'll be different. Okay, all right. And then 3 and 3. So this one's easy, never been in a pen or recently acquired. So let me see which pen I have around here. 3. Anybody else use these Archival Ink Pigma brush pens? I'm not very good at them. So we have 3 and 3. So let me see what I can find that's an orange, yellow ink, or not orange, sorry, yellow or gold ink, and then one that's never been in a pen or recently acquired. So hold please. Okay friends, I think I'm gonna go with Sven's Ink Tarnish Glow. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it. Sven's ink is going to be at the Chicago Pen Show, if anybody's going to that. He's also on Etsy. I'll link him below. Sorry, my voice is kind of not doing the best today. And then I'm going to put it in my TWSBI Eco Tea and see how it performs. This has a, I want to say I have a broad nib on this one. Oh, actually, friends, it's a medium nib. So we'll see. And I'm not sure why. I feel like I've been having some issues with this TWSBI nib, so I don't like to use it very often. So this was Sven's Ink Tarnished Glow. And my TWSBI Eco Tea, the name is eluding me right now, so I'll just leave this, come back to it. I've really been liking this Ferris Wheel Press one. Okay, saffron. Okay, friends, that was an easy day 4. So we'll see what we get on day 5, friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey friends, it's Bailey from the Ink Station. It's Sunday, April. We're back for another day of 30 Inks, 30 Days. And we shall see what we roll. The sun is kind of out here. So for a recap, so far we've had 2 blue inks, a red or orange ink, and then we had our yellow gold ink, which was yesterday, as you can see on the paper. So I am manifesting a green or a pink ink. So this is also why I wanted to do this. It challenges me a little bit to not always reach for the same inks over and over again. So the first one is going to be, the color is 13, which is a green ink. My desk is so messy right now. And then we'll roll again for the prompt. 18, which is a deep dye, friends. So let me gather my green ink and let's get going. So I'll be back. Okay, friends, I left you off with a green ink and then doing a deep dive. So I found this Vinta Carlos in my stash here. I have not put it in a pen yet. It's a pretty full fill. I know nothing about this ink other than it is green. And then I'm going to put it in my Papa J Studios pen. And that is in a medium nib. And I'm going to prime it. And that just means I'm pushing it up. I wanted to show that. So you can see the ink pooling up in the feed. And I'm just going to dip to get it going. So we have, ooh, that is, okay, maybe a little too much. Sorry, friends. So we have Vinta Carlos. Friends, have you used Vinta Carlos before? And then what did I say? Papa J. Most of his pens, I don't think have a model name. So maybe eventually that will change. But this is like the Jade Mermaid resin. It's one of my favorite pens. So we're going to do a little bit of a writing test here. Let me see if I can find my timer and time. Still a little wet. Let's do $30 seconds. I'm going to take a little swatch of this. Then I'm going to do a little water test here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so 30 seconds is probably the golden time. And then here's the swatch. Not diluted, and the swatch diluted. It's very much a meadow green, like I'm thinking Diamond Meadow, and then a very dark evergreen kind of green without the dilution. So friends, what I'm going to do is a waterproof test. So I'm going to take a little bit of water. I have a water cup off to the side. Not very waterproof, is it? Okay, we're going to submerge this in water. And then I think I'm going to try wiping it away. So that's with submerging it for not very long. You can kind of see what's left. So if you accidentally spill a water cup on there and wipe it off right away, you can retain some of that. So friends, let's come back when this swatch is dry. Okay, friends, we're back for 30 Inks, 30 Days, Day 5, finishing this up. I had a little swatch here that did not want to dry. It'll dry eventually, but let's take a closer look at this deep dive of Vinta Carlos in my Papa J Studios pen. So we did a little test here. Looks like 30 seconds was probably the winner. I did a regular swatch, and you can see it's a very nice evergreen type of green, and there's some shading. And then I diluted it with some water, and check this out, friends. This is a very, very gorgeous. It reminds me of Diamond Meadow, but with a little bit more of a darker shading. It's very beautiful. So if you wanted to, you could dilute it a little bit. Okay, friends. So let me add it to my currently inked page, so don't forget. You hear my cat in the background? That's Gully. That's my my old man. Hi. Hi. I don't want you to jump up on my desk. Not on this one, buddy. Okay. So we have Vinta Carlos for day 5. So day 1 we had Diamine Ruby Blues. So sheening blue ink. And then we had Roaring Klinger Frida Sketch Ink. And then we had Ferris Wheel Press Lantern Crossing. Sven's Ink Tarnish Glow. And then today we have Vinta Carlos. So I will write more with these. So far my favorite is probably the Ferris Wheel Press, surprisingly, the Twisby Mini Orange. Still having some writing nib issues with my Twisby Go tea. I'm just giving a quick update. So it's now snowing in April. Like, why? April, why do you got to do that to us? I'm gonna just record a quick video to add on to my other video. So I have here a little update from my 30 Inks 30 Days. Okay, let me just scroll to the right page. Okay, so the first ink. Okay, the first ink we rolled was a Diamine Ruby Blues. And we put that in our Jinhao 82. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I think you guys can just pause it and read it if you want to. But I got this sample from a friend. It's a really sheeny ink. Let's see if you guys can see this on the video. Oh, there we go. I don't typically like to write with heavy sheener inks, so that's also why I wanted to challenge myself with this 30 Inks 30 Days with the dice. The only time this has not worked well was on Clairefontaine paper when I was writing a letter. It liked to skip, and I don't know if it's just because there's a little bit of a toothierness, which is weird because to me Midori is also toothy, but it performed well on Midori and Life paper. If you wanted to dilute it, you could probably use diluted water and pull out the blue without the sheen, or at least reduce the sheen, but it's a pretty basic blue. So if you're into that, then it might be a good option for you. I'll keep using it. I have about, we're only the first week in. I've used about a little over half of that sample I put in there. Of course, I still have like a full sample of it, so we'll see what I end up doing with it. And then on day 2, we rolled for Roaring Klinger the sketch ink. That's Frida. I actually really like this ink. It's a pigmented ink, so you're gonna have your typical issues with drying out if you don't watch it, or I don't know if you can see it on here, like little crusties on the nib. And I just wipe that clean whenever I'm right before I start writing. But this ink is actually pretty awesome. I've used several other sketch inks, Carmen, Emma, Lottie. There's another one. At some point maybe I should do a video of all the sketch inks that I do have. I think I only have a couple more I need to get. And I think that's the bright pink one. But it's performed extremely well. It is more of a, to me it leans more of a teal color. But it's blue-gray, which is, I much prefer the blue-gray over the, I guess, is that blue-black? Blue-gray is one of my favorite colors to write with in the blue family. So this has been up my alley. No issues in this Jinhao 82. It's an extra fine nib. So I actually thought maybe it wouldn't do very well. So I wanted to give it a good test. I have not had any drying out. It flowed right away. It's a very well lubricated ink. It's smooth. It's performed well in Clairefontaine, Life paper, and Midori. There's only been a little bit of show through, like ghost, or actually more like ghosting on the Life. This is Life Pistachio. And then no ghost, none. I mean, you can kind of see it a little bit ghosting on there, but performed extremely well. This is the original Tomo River paper. I didn't bring out my Stanzin because that notebook, you know how that notebook has been for me. So yeah, friends, I will stop it here. I will probably do more of these samples just because it's kind of nice for reference. But for now, here's these two from 30 Inks 30 Days. Day 3 was, ignore this, friends. You've already seen this in the other part of the video. Lantern Crossing. It is a very nice shading orange. Very similar to like a mix between Autumn Oak by Diamine and Fuyugaki by Pilot. So if you can imagine those two kind of mixed together, that's kind of what this looks like in person. It does look like it's pretty accurate on my camera though. There is nice shading. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Let's see. If you can't, I'm sorry. But there is some shading in there. This was given to me in a swap. I think it's one of the newer inks, so I could still get it. I'm just not sure because it's so similar to Autumn Oak and Fuyugaki, or even, is it Fuyuyaki, the other one? I don't know if I'll need a full bottle of this one. Okay, and then day 4 was Sven's ink. I'm going to see where I swatched that one at. I did this a little bit backwards because I just wanted to use up some of my pages. Oh, actually, Sven's Tarnish Glows ink is nice shading ink. I thought there was shimmer, but I'm not seeing any. There's no sheen, thankfully, but it is nice shading. It's not waterproof, so keep that in mind. It will wash away. It's so light. It's smooth on Tomo River paper and Life paper, and it kind of struggled and toothy on Midori paper. I don't feel like I need a full bottle. I can see why people would. It's a unique shade, but I just don't reach for gold ink very often. Overall, not a bad ink. I have a lot of inks like this already. I'm just going to preface with that. I put it in my Papa J pen. I showed this off in the March Madness, which I can link down below. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I've used, I think I filled it to about, actually, you can pull it up a little bit more, about here. So I haven't used a ton of it. I mean, I only recently inked this one up. So I can see myself finishing this cartridge. I will say I spilled, what did I do with it? I had a full sample vial and I spilled because I forgot I left my cap on. So I was able to salvage a lot of it, but I did swatch Monteverde Olivine, and I did recommend if you have Monteverde Olivine, you probably don't need a bottle of Vinta Carlos. Vinta Carlos does have a nice meaning, like a nice story behind it. It's supposed to represent the green hills and represent like the change of the season over there in, where did I write it? Okay, if I butcher this, I am so sorry. Bohol in the Philippines. I'll show a picture of it here in a sec. Like, I'll put it in the frame. Very gorgeous. It's also named after the former president, Carlos P. Garcia. On Vinta's website, it was because he refused to cooperate with Japanese forces, and there was another description on a different website, but I used the one that came from Vinta's website themselves. It is very lush. It is a lot like I said, Monteverde Olivine. There was no bleed through on either paper. Life, Midori, a little ghosting on this Tomo River original paper. I recommend it. If you have this though, you don't need both. So you just have to decide if you want one or the other, or maybe you do. Maybe you love this color and you want both. That's completely fine. I think out of the ones I've had, I think the only one I'm so far wanting a full bottle of is Roar Kunir Frida Sketch Ink. So friends, what are you inking up? What are you writing with? Are you doing anything for 30 Inks 30 Days, or are you doing something different? I would love to know. So until then, friends, I will see you on the next video. Bye!